I posted the SIG 320 X5 review yesterday, and as I kind of expected, there was a lot of comments and a lot of engagement on the review. Now, the title for the review was a sketchy gun from a shady company, which I think is a fair title. It's also true that the gun, it does have this appeal. It has this modularity where guys can take it and try to make it better. I mean, effectively just rebuild the whole gun. That's not something I necessarily want to do, but I sort of understand why people might do that. All right, so with that, let's take the comments. Let's I have them sorted out here, most popular to least. So let's see what comments you guys had. All right, the very top comment, tons of likes, tons of replies. If you have to rebuild the entire gun to get it the way you want it, you bought the wrong gun. And I think that's true. I think that's very, very fair to say. That's why it's a little bit, I mean, it's not really crazy, but it's kind of weird. Here's some aftermarket SIG 320 stuff. Like, you can build the whole gun. Now, if I took this top end and shot this, I'm not even really reviewing the same gun. It's all aftermarket. Now, yeah, if you're doing stuff like this, did you buy the wrong gun? Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But in a sense, the guys messing with this stuff, they really like the design, and they're trying to get more out of the design, and it's not like a money thing. It's not why they're doing that. Anyway, but yes, I agree. The SIG 320 is not the right gun to get. Working our way down, better than 99% of YouTube reviews, mainly because you shot it 12,000 times. Yeah, and to me, that's just a starting point. The first 1,000 rounds through a gun, it's barely anything, right? I'm just shooting it a little bit, getting a little bit of hands-on with it. If I fire 5,000 rounds, I should have a pretty good idea of how everything's working and some likes and dislikes about the gun. Over 10,000 rounds, that's going to be a pretty well-developed opinion. But even then, things are going to change. Over time, you learn more, your perception shift as you shoot the gun more. The gun breaks in or doesn't, one way or the other. Yeah, the fact is, guys shooting 500 rounds through a pistol, I wouldn't be that interested in their opinion, personally. Okay, truly ingenious and forward-thinking by SIG to make a firearm that is so modular that end users can have the freedom to upgrade every single component in the hopes of finally making it into a good gun. Yes, it's very nice of them. All right, SIG really pulled a marketing masterclass with this. They put out a gun that feels like it's just short of being great and sell you the extras to try to chase that P320 Dragon. Yes, I don't think they're really selling you all the extras. Maybe they are, but it is a modular design. People are, in a sense, chasing the Dragon. With that, when you're shooting the 320 is fun. When it's on, it's really on. It's sometimes it feels like absolutely the best gun, and then other times it feels like the worst. And it's just, I can see why people want it to be better. I love how SIG designs such a sketchy fire control system, lauded as one of the best triggers on a striker gun. First, too much mass in the trigger made it not drop safe. Then they shaved some off the triggers and added a disconnector fix, but P320s continued to blow up. Then it came out that the sear barely engaged the fully tensioned striker. The springs maintained that engagement were sometimes tangled because of incompetent workers. Then the striker safety springs also failed and needed to be replaced. SIG just couldn't be normal. Plunger striker safeties work for a reason. It's telling that SIG is trying to turn the P365 into a full-size gun with the macros. Also, I'm gay. All right, there's a lot in that comment. I'm not sure whether that's true. He probably is gay. I'm not sure what's true, but yeah, I'm here for it. All right, Team SIG application got denied, but finally a non-shill SIG review other than Honest Outlaw. Yeah. I appreciate what Ben is saying. This is not a great gun out of the box. I run the X5 Legion and IPSC production optics, and I've had to change the trigger bar, and springs. Took time to dial ammo in to make the gun run properly too. I love what I have now, but out of the box, it wasn't very good. Yes, I think that's going to be a pretty common sort of opinion of the X5. Really waiting on the P365 update. In my opinion, P365 is the flagship gun. Love the 365. Complete pass on the 320. Yes, okay, I do have a 365 Rainbow, which I'm going to be shooting more. I have my holsters and everything for it, so I'm going to shoot it more. I'm not going to shoot it like crazy, but I'm going to shoot it more, not to worry. You got a lemon. None of my P320s, compact, pre-Legion X5, and 2 full-size have trouble going into battery like that, and all of them work reliably with harder primers. I just did a batch of 9mm with small rifle primers and shot them through P320s with no problems. I think you might be right. That's why I was saying, like, hey, this example of the gun is doing this and this. I don't think my experience was par for the course. I think my stuff was not very good. All right, the title seemed a little bit clickbaity, but the actual review seems fair and well thought out. Thanks for taking the time to do this. You're very welcome. All right, but there's some replies. Oh, this guy's mad at me for now. How is it fair if he's not even lubricating the gun according to SIG instructions? That is a completely useless review of inducing problems himself and wondering why it's not working. What? This is awesome. I should tell you guys, just for the record, I kept the gun clean and I kept it wet while I was using it. I didn't do the shenanigans I did with the Staccato where I lube starve it, get it to malfunction, then re-lubricate it, or anything like that. I kept the gun clean and I kept it wet. Field stripping it, like every 1,500 rounds, I would take the top end off, look at it, wipe the crud out of it, re-lubricate it. Like if it wasn't properly lubricated, like it's even a shittier gun than I was saying. All right, I love these comments where the guy's saying, oil needs a cap to work, grease does not. That's why you have different type of lubricants. Oh my God, he's mad that I used oil and not grease. It's like, dude, you're an idiot. It's a service pistol, right? If you like, it won't work with oil, but it will work with grease. Like, that's not a service pistol. If what you're saying is true, which I don't think it is, it's not a fucking service pistol if you need to have grease on particular parts and not oil. Like, using oil messes it up. Like, you're out of your mind. The X5 comes with 2 springs in the box. I highly recommend the slightly stiffer spring. The lightweight spring is only for lightweight custom reloads. They tell you this in the manual. Yeah, I know. I was using the heavier spring. Trigger's nothing great. I threw a Grey Gun sear and spring set in with an adjustable trigger shoe and added the Apex trigger bar. Now it's an incredible trigger. In a striker-fired gun, it's a striker spring that needs to be replaced or improved. It's not really the trigger itself. Light strikes are due to the striker spring being fatigued. Yeah, but it was light striking right away, homie. It's a good gun straight out of the box. It's a really awesome gun, which the trigger's been upgraded and crappy grip module has been replaced. Metal grip module for the win. I mean, I guess. I don't think it's awesome out of the box. Like, I've shot other guns, so I couldn't really have that opinion. All right, I feel like this is an honest no BS review of a SIG product, and I'm a SIG fan. Much respect. Good. Your reloads are crazy good with that SIG video. Thank you very much, sir. Every YouTuber should do 10,000 rounds like this before they give their opinions. Well, I have a little bit of an advantage because I'm not a YouTuber. I do firearms instruction. So I didn't go take, 10 or 12,000 rounds and go shoot it through the SIG for the purpose of doing a YouTube review. I was going to be training anyway. I'll use this gun and then I'll talk about it on YouTube. So, like, the advantage I have is I'm shooting a lot and training a lot anyway, so I have a pretty high burn rate on ammo. I use a lot of different equipment. I see a lot of different stuff in classes. I'm not going to the range for the purposes of YouTube. I don't think that'd really be practical. Really, someone like me is like, I'm going to get a better look at equipment than a professional YouTuber will because they're doing YouTube stuff like editing videos and shit like that. They're not at the range shooting tens of thousands of rounds. Here's a comment. Most YouTubers are simply putting out content for a paycheck with very little hands-on time. Yes, it's pretty rare to have them shoot even 1,000 rounds before dropping a so-called review video. Yes. That's it. I mean, they got to make money. They got to do their thing. All right. I'm no SIGger, but I did buy one of these guns when they came out. It annoyed me that the carbon blasted my dot from the get-go. Yes. SIG sent me a non-LCI barrel, like no loaded chamber indicator. Okay, trigger was mushy. I got the Gray Guns trigger. At 1,000 rounds, the slide started going home as it should. Yeah. Recoil impulse was funny and harder to time. I agree with that. I swapped springs and put a tungsten guide rod in it. I added the Go Gun gas pedal takedown lever for a good index point that wouldn't get hot. So put a Springer mag release and grip tape. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. At this point, I'd spent a lot of time and money on the gun, and it was what I wanted it to be, but it certainly wasn't anywhere near what I wanted out of the box. I ended up selling that SIG because I didn't feel like modding another, and I quit shooting USPSA carry optics. Okay. Overall, I think your assessment is fair. Thank you. But I do think the gun has potential and is great to work with. Probably one of the best for carry optics, and certainly the best when it was released. But at this point, you work it over. It's an $1,800 gun. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, for your competition gun, again, I'm not super price sensitive about that. It could be $1,300 or $1,800 or $2,300 or whatever it is. If it's the gun that speaks to you and the gun that you really like, then you should shoot that gun. It's a shame that it's so much work to get these guns to where they need to be. Really appreciate your honesty and tenacity here, Ben. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I'll have the Sig Sauer subreddit open for the rest of the day. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they like me on Reddit. Probably not. Or let's see if there's any other good comments here. Ben literally is saving us all money with each gun he reviews. Well, I don't know how many of you guys were going to buy a SIG. I don't know how many of you were going to do that. I pretty much agree 100% with your assessment on the 320s. I've shot a few, handled even more different models of the 320. All in all, they feel great to hold. The frame matches up almost perfectly to my hand, and I'm kind of predisposed to love it. But like you, the trigger leaves a lot to be desired, and spongy is probably the best description. Yeah, the recoil impulse feels odd, smooth but really slow compared to other guns I've shot. With that said, they really track flat, and if you could fix the trigger and the impulse and the obvious reliability issues, it would probably be close to the perfect handgun. Almost like they could make a Glock with the SIG frame. I'd be all over it. Oh, that kind of does make sense. Just have Glock make it with a SIG frame. Not a bad idea. All right, guys. I think the review went well. I appreciate all the comments. It'll be upward and onward. We're moving on to other things now, guys.